Let's talk about Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story on Netflix. So for me personally, I did not have any insight into the story, which sounds crazy because apparently like everyone remembers this and knows it and it's all over. But when this project was coming up, I started to see a lot more about this story, and then obviously people I knew were talking about it and everything like that. And I was really quite interested. So I was actually kind of anticipating this story. So since I knew this was coming out, I decided to just like actively avoid any like information about the story. So I heard the story in its entirety for the first time. However, I couldn't avoid some inklings or chatter, I guess you could say, about Ryan Murphy being the one to create this project and tell this story in this way on Netflix with a huge budget and everything like that. People were talking about nervousness around it, around him mischaracterizing the individuals who were actually victims in the story and X, Y, and Z. But I didn't really get too deep into it. I didn't even know that part, like the mischaracterization, until afterwards. And now with Eric Menendez himself coming out and speaking on Ryan Murphy's adaptation, all that sort of stuff, like I just saw some like little things and I kind of tried to avoid it. So I wanted to give the show a chance. I gave the show a chance. I watched the first like 2 or 3 episodes, and while the actors are fantastic and what have you, it really did start irking me very early on that Ryan Murphy definitely gave the story some sort of homoerotic spin that clearly, based off of what I've researched after, was not actually in the real story. And listen, I know this is what he does, Ryan Murphy. Like, I get it. This is a lot of his storytelling. This is how he does things. However, these are real people that actually still exist in this world. They're alive. They're literally still in prison. So I find it incredibly irresponsible of him to alter the story and embellish in that way just to fit his own narrative as a director, writer, X, Y, and Z. And then on top of it, Eric's wife, Tammy Menendez, she has been speaking out just based off of what I've researched for years on his behalf. And she posted this statement from Eric directly. And you can pause to read, but essentially he's just expressing his, unhappiness with the fact that Ryan Murphy, one with such a huge budget, such a huge platform, would choose to portray their story in such a dishonest light, especially when it comes to something as serious as child SA, which he definitely downplays in the show and makes it seem more about sexuality and all that sort of stuff. So out of respect for the Menendez brothers and their story, I'm not going to continue watching this adaptation or portrayal, what have you, but I do really want to have a comprehensive look at the entire story since I'm just learning about it in recent months. So if anyone has any documentaries they would recommend, or really anything that would allow me to understand the full scope of their story as it was and avoiding anything that could be potentially harmful or negatively contributing to their livelihood. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below because I am quite interested in this story. I know there are a ton of docs. Obviously, there's a lot of recorded footage from the trials. I've been looking at some of that, but I kind of just want, it's been over the same span of like 10 years or something, I think. So I kind of want to watch something like in succession and like actually consume this story in its entirety for the most part. So yeah, definitely let me know down below. And let me know what you guys think about this whole Ryan Murphy controversy. I can't be alone in my concerns.